this video, we are ranking WWE Elite Series 124 from worst to best, but first, before we get into those figures, we have to take a look at the last two figures in this set, and that is going to be WWE Elite Series 124 Rey Mysterio and Lyra Valkyria, who comes with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I'm pretty sure it's already damn outdated, too. I don't think it has any of the blue on it, which is just absurdity, but I'm sure it'll come around. But here we have Rey Mysterio, no stranger to the Elite line, of course. Man has probably the most Elite figures, I think, besides John Cena. I think it's John Cena, Rey Mysterio, then The Undertaker. I think. Could be wrong there. Regardless of the fact, both these figures look pretty good on paper. We do have Rey Mysterio here. Always a very good posable figure. We'll see. I think this is his ultimate lower, so we'll see how it all unfolds here as we get into it. But got the, I think this is the Raw on Netflix debut, similar to CM Punk and Jey Uso, I think. But you have Rey Mysterio on the side. We did get to see this figure back at Comic-Con. Get the rest of the figures in the wave, of course, that we already reviewed. And then we do have Lyra Valkyria, who is a first time in the line besides the basic. First in the Elite line, we do have a Lyra figure. We have two Lyras, but they were both basic figures. And now we do have her figure here, which it does look like she has some new tooling coming in here. We have the Women's Intercontinental Championship, so this should be fun. There's a shot of both talents there. And then on the back, you have another shot of Lyra over there, which, is not the damn blue on there, man? There's blue on there, but I don't see any blue on this title, unless I'm just mentally ill. Regardless, we're going to crack these figures out of the packaging, take a look at them, and see what they're all about, and then we're going to rank WWE Elite Series 124. So let's get them out of here and see what these are about. So here's Rey Mysterio and Lyra Valkyria out of the packaging, and this is interesting. I'm going to have a interesting time ranking these figures because I think that both of them are pretty good in their own way, but the rest of the wave is pretty solid, right? I don't think that you're looking at necessarily any bad figures in this entire wave, but let's take a look at Rey Mysterio right here. For Rey Mysterio, man, kind of gave him the shish into the stick. He doesn't get really any accessories from what I'm seeing. I mean, yeah, you get the LWO shirt, but they've been getting, bro, if you're a true ball knower, if you know what the hell you're talking about, Brad, you know that they've been giving Rey Mysterio these kind of shirts for years upon years. I mean, it has been a very long time, but if you zoom in here, you do get the Latino World Order or the LWO shirt, like that little, I don't know what that pattern is called, but it's kind of like the bandit or bandana style pattern that's going around there, which I like. Nothing on the back, very plain Jane rubber little, you know, I guess you got, it's kind of like a muscle tee, but it's not, you know, people, you know, wear these to the beach or whatever, and it's just kind of like a little cover shirt for his entrance or what have you. He's been doing this for years, like I stated. But, I mean, this is basically all you get with Rey Mysterio. Yeah, you do get the same gloved hands that we have seen before, so you are going to get the same hands, right? The kind of reaching out. I call them the SmackDown entrance from back in the day, like 2006, 2007, 2005 SmackDown entrance hands. That's what this reminds me of, where he reaches out for you, and I think that's cool. I wish they would, I guess they kind of made that. The Ruthless Aggression Elite was close to that attire. That would be a really cool attire to get. But, yeah, he just gets, you know, the grabby hands, and then he gets a pair of fists, which are not terrible. I still wish we could get some mic holding hands for him here in the glove, you know, glove mold or whatever that are in the same scale, but I'm not a big fan of this head sculpt. This is a very old head sculpt as well, and if it's not, I'm pretty sure it's very, very similar to some Rey Mysterio head sculpts we've seen in the past, but I do like the mask. The red, black, and white is very, very clean, but it looks like he has the contacts in, which I don't think he's worn the contacts in a very long time, unless I'm just completely dumb, but he does have the newer Rey Mysterio torso here, which is technically the Sin Cara torso or the AJ Styles torso, which is a good torso. I like all the tattoo deco. Got all the tattoos going on here. I think he does have some new ones added in here, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but for some reason this rib tattoo is sticking out to me, but he also has the spine tattoo, which I've always loved. He's got this kind of kinetic tape going down his arms in the red, black, and white. Got the same, you know, arms and shoulders going on there. This figure would probably look pretty cool too if you swapped out the shoulders and arms for some blank ones that didn't have the tape, but I do like the tape. Got these little gauntlets on here, which is solid. He's been having to do, these are so, like, dude, he's been having these for close to 13 years or something like that, man. It's crazy, but got the same crotch in there. Got some deco. You got Mysterio on this side. You do have Rey on this side, which I do love. So you get the WWE logo. You get Rey in that kind of Raw logo look, and then you get the Mexico flag, which is also very sick. And I like the way I don't know, the colors and everything just pop off nice. It's this nice silver gray color. And then going down, you do get the greatest mask of all time. Get some, is that how it looked, or is that, I guess it is how it looks. I don't know, that just looks off to me. But these are the Ultimate Edition boots. You got the Mysterio logo there, which is cool, and I like the way this looks. I hate that we never got a Natalya figure with the Rey Mysterio boots, because for a while there, she was rocking those Rey Mysterio style boots. But this is a fun figure in hand, but Rey Mysterio, man, his track record on posable figures is incredible. So ab crunch is solid, and go frontwards and backwards. You know, head sculpt is straight removable. I'm gonna probably attempt to find a better Rey Mysterio head sculpt for this guy. Kind of looks like it's not necessarily oversized or anything. I think the proportions are a little weird, but he still poses pretty well. You know, everything here is gonna, you know, get the job done. It's Rey Mysterio, man. He's on ball joints, not pinless legs, so you know the double jointed knee is gonna be nice. You get the boot rotation, the boots go up and down, you get ankle pivot, you get the toe articulation. Guy's gonna be able to pose the best. I just don't like the head sculpt, and I feel like having a good head sculpt on the Rey really sets him apart. But I do like this Rey Mysterio. It's just, I don't know, there's certain things that I think could be better on this Rey, but I do like it. I think it's a solid addition. I don't know if it's gonna shatter the earth necessarily, but I like the Rey. I like the Rey, you know what I mean? But let's get into Lyra over here, and for her, man, she doesn't really get shish for accessories. Let's get in here. Like, look at this. She gets mic holding hands, and then she gets the Carmella hands, and by Carmella hands, I'm talking about these kind of wide open entrance style hands. So you're getting these right here. There's no nail polish or anything. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Doesn't, I mean, I get, if it's not accurate, that's kind of bummy, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that, even though it is cool when they add it in there. But, and Lyra's accessories outside of interchangeable hands is she finally comes with, or we finally in the line get the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is sized well, and the plates look fine, but there's no blue details in here, which I can't remember if off rip, if the Women's Championship had the blue accents, or if it took a little while to get the blue. I want to say it came out with the blue, but I could be wrong there, but I do like the way the championship looks, but no blue on there is kind of bummy, man. It's pretty bummy, and, you know, we'll probably, we will get an updated version later, at a later date with some different figures. I completely think that will be the case, but man, not having the blue on there is pretty upsetting. I think that it would look a lot better. Unless I'm wrong, you can let me know. Was the blue initially on the championship? Let me know, man, but I do have a custom one. Hold up, and we can compare. So here I have the blue accents added, and you can let me know, does this look better than this or more accurate than that? I could have swore that it looked like this originally, but I could be mistaken. But you can see the work of Dan Turnquist there. A lot more legible and clean on the custom one, but it could just be the gold they're using. But look how clean that is, man. That black is in there. I think it's the lack of black paint on this one. You can't even really read the Intercontinental in here. This is way more legible, but I don't know. I still like that we got the Intercontinental Championship. It's just, man, that would have been nice to get those blue details in there. But I remember when we first got the original Intercontinental Championship before the blue accents with a J, and it wasn't that legible either. You remember it had some paint cracks and stuff, so I don't know. The Lyra Valkyria head sculpt, I don't know how I feel about this head sculpt either. I think the likeness is there. I don't think they completely nailed it, but it looks better than her basic. I do like it. She is smiling, which is you know, but looks like they got a little bit of the eye makeup in there. You know, Mattel never really puts any makeup or any lipstick or any lip color on any of the female figures or the women's figures, and the lips here are a slightly different color, which does look better in my opinion. It makes the figures look kind of washed out, and I'm also noticing on some of these figures that they have changed lip color, and I can't remember off the top of the dome. I don't think that's something that they do commonly, and I think it really lifts the women's figures. I'm telling you, if they would paint the lips of the women's figures, they would look so much more like the characters. I'm just telling you. But the Lyra Valkyria does have this interesting upper sculpt right here, and you can see the shiny metallic blue on there, which I like a lot. You got this kind of rubbery feathers coming off, which I do like that it's not, you can't pull this off, so it's sculpted a part of the torso, the upper torso, which I think works really, really well. And then back looks nice there. Got the strap coming across, and again, you kind of have this, I like the way they did that, man. That's really, really unique. Whoever decided to do that, I think that was genius. So you have kind of this soft rubber here, but it's completely intact and attached. It doesn't feel like it's going to pop off or anything, and everything. Got the blue in the back of the hair as well. There's some nice details with this Lyra. I like the Lyra, man. Lyra looking good right now. Got the got some studs sculpted onto the bottom here here on the crotch, which I think is nice. You even have some more of this rubbery felt material coming off of the lower, and I think that is just, I don't know, that's genius design right there, man. You even have kind of the top of the thighs painted right there, which I think looks good, kind of gives you that biker shorts look. And then these look to be retooled Alexa Bliss legs that they used to use forever, but you'll notice they are now pinless, and for a long time, this is the same thing they would use over and over. They use these legs on a lot of women's figures, but it looks like they have been retooled to be pinless, and I do like that they did not give her, see, back in the day, man, they would have gave her the basic kick pad feet that, you know, Alexa Bliss was known for, and they put it on the Alba Fire figure most recently, and I hate that mold, but you can see here, these are newly tooled kick pads, man, which means you're going to get an ankle pivot on here, which is so damn good, man. I remember when I was told that it was too small to make that happen. That is not true, or it's not true anymore, because now you can ankle pivot that, so that is great, man. They finally made that addition. I remember asking them about that years ago, and it looks like we finally have introduced that in the line. Women's figures getting the uniquely sculpted kick pads, which is great, but this Lyra figure is pretty damn cool, man. You know, she is kind of using that Sheamus skin tone, which, you know, Lyra's not she's not out here looking like 2002 Triple H or something, but figure does pose well. She doesn't have that stiff shoulder thing, which is a huge deal for me, but you're going to get the double jointed bicep. Ab crunch on the women's figures until we get that Tiffany Stratton unique torso across the board. You're not going to get much of it there, but you get the waist swivel. Legs are on ball joints, so you're going to get, dude, that is just nice to see right there. Upper thigh cut, you get the double jointed knee. It was a little tight, but it's not as bad now. Again, you get the kick pad rotation, the feet go up and down, and you do get the ankle pivot, which is very nice, man. Figure feels well in hand, but there's no figure in this wave really that doesn't feel somewhat decent in hand, which is great. Yeah, not bad right there, man. Not bad. This is going to be a just absurd wave to rank, but I think it is time to rank WWE Elite Series 124 from worst to best. Alright, man, it is time to rank WWE Elite Series 124 from the worst to the best. And again, just because a figure comes down at the bottom of the ranking doesn't mean it doesn't have anything good about the figure or it's the worst figure ever. And just because a figure is number one doesn't mean that it's without any faults whatsoever. Somebody has to be last, somebody has to be first. So that being said, man, buckle the hell up. Let's get into it. Let's start off at the bottom of the ranking. And this one was tough, I think. Yeah, this one was tough, but I think this is what I have went with, man. I went with the Rey Mysterio. Now, Rey Mysterio being at the bottom of the ranking is kind of shocking to me because I think on paper you have some really good things here, but at the end of the day, man, I don't like the way that this head sits onto this neck. You see how it's almost like, you see how like weird it looks, how it funnels into the head? It's just very off-putting. The proportions and the way that the figure is built just looks weird to me. And not that I don't like this torso, not that I don't like these legs. There's certain things here that just don't work as a combo, and I don't know what it is. I also don't like the head sculpt, and also they made him too tall, man. Like, look at this. This is the Elite 100 Rey. He is way over. I think that this Rey Mysterio is built better. I know he's older. He's a little bit more jacked. I understand those different things and everything like that, but I don't think he grew in height. And I don't know. I like the figure. I think it poses well. There's some good things here, but the Rey is at the bottom for me. Next up is going to be Lyra Valkyria, and it's sad that this figure is probably this low, but not really. I mean, you know, I really wish that the articulation on the torso specifically for the women's figures could get better. And this figure is a step in the right direction. I think they did some really good things here with the kick pads and the sculpted top, the metallic paint. There's a lot to like about this figure. I simply just think that the rest of the figures are a little bit better in my opinion, and it's a very close race, honestly, in this wave, but there are some damn good figures in this wave. Let's get into it. Next up, we do have the Alex Shelley figure from the Motor City Machine Guns Elite Series 124. I think that this figure's solid. I think the head's a little bit too big, and I also think that the rest of the figures in the wave are better, but I do like the new kick pad mold. I like that they went with the Ricochet torso. I think there's some cool details here, and he's got a lot going on with him, but I think that the other figures in this wave are a little bit better than him, which takes us into the number 3 spot, which is going to be Jey Uso. I really like this Jey Uso figure. He's got a lot going on. I know it's kind of just a repaint of the defining moments, but it has so much going on, man. You get the Yeet glasses, you get the t-shirt, the attire is beautiful, the white and pink. I mean, my God, how clean is that? Very toyetic overall. Hate that he's missing the beard paint and stuff like that, but that's not the biggest issue of all time. That's a simple fix and everything like that. Some things are harder to fix than others, but I think this is my ranking so far. And now we get into number 2 and number 1. And at number 2, I went with the CM Punk from Elite Series 124. A very good head sculpt, a very cool jacket. Very, it's not the most exciting attire, but it's executed well, man. The black, silver, and white is very simple, but very well executed. You get the sculpted wrist tape, the sculpted hand tape. You're getting tattoos. There's a lot to like about this CM Punk. Very strong CM Punk. Could be the best CM Punk we get this year. We do know we're getting an Ultimate Edition later on this year with Larry, but at the same time, that figure is going to come with possibly the shoulder sticking out syndrome. I don't even know what the hell we can call that, but shoulder extension, whatever we got to come up with a name for that. But this CM Punk is very, very good, and the Elites are better than the Ultimates when it comes to CM Punk. I think that, when I like the new torso. They just need to make it where the shoulders are recessed into the torso a little bit more. But number 1 is going to be Chris Sabin, which is just a fantastic figure overall. He kind of suffers the same issue a little bit. I don't think his head sculpt is nearly as big as Alex Shelley's, but this Sabin figure is very damn good. Very innovative, very creative, unreal likeness, great build, leather jacket, got all these details. I mean, you got the Buddy Murphy style crutch. You have these newly sculpted shorts that are rubberized so that they pose well. Sculpted on knee pads that allow for better posing. You even have the sculpted kick pads in here, which is a brand new mold and looks good. And the gun hands, everything here is just a great package, and I think that this is the best figure. I think that this Sabin figure is probably going to be up among the best of the best at the end of the year. We'll see what happens with that, man. I really am enjoying these new figures, man. I mean, I know that we have some QC issues. No figure is perfect. We have some tight joints here and there, but I felt like with this wave overall, I felt like it was a step in the right direction collectively, and so we'll see how the rest of 2026 unfolds. But that is your Elite Series 124. If you want any of these figures, man, go over to Ringside Collectibles. Use code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10%. Lots of figures to review very soon. But I think that about wraps up my Elite 124 ranking, man. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts down below. But I'm getting the hell out. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.